Hello everyone, wishing you a very good evening. Thanks everyone and people who are joining in as well for taking out time on a Thursday evening. Of course, Thursday evening is a really difficult day for making time for things outside of work. So really appreciated, and I'm sure you all will have something much more to look after during the next brief period during which we have this session. To introduce our esteemed speakers for today evening, I'll start with Mr. Meet Pandya. He heads the business and product development at NSE International Exchange in GIFT IFSC, focusing on global engagement, product expansion, and strategic market alignment. He brings over 20 years of experience in global capital markets, having worked in US and India across institutional and equities, derivative sales, trading, and cross-border market access. Before NSE International Exchange, he headed the US-India market access at Nuvama and held roles at StoneX, Advantage Futures, Edelweiss, and Accenture. He holds an MS in financial markets from Illinois Technology University, Chicago, and a BBA honors in finance from Loyola University, Chicago. Can we welcome Meet Pandya, please? Sure. He will be joining us shortly. The next the speaker for today is Mr. Ritesh Kumar. He is a senior capital markets professional with over 20 years of experience in business development, product innovation, and financial market strategy. He serves as head of business development and marketing at International Exchange IFSC Limited, as a director and manager at India INX Global Access IFSC Limited. With 17 years in stock exchanges, he has been instrumental in driving growth and designing strategic initiatives. He holds an MBA and is an NISM empaneled trainer for key market modules. The business model of India INX Global Access is a result of his vision, and he continues to shape the capital market landscape at GIFT IFSC. Can we have a round of applause for Ritesh Kumar, please? Our next speaker, Mr. Jignesh Yagnik. He is a senior finance executive with over 21 years of experience in credit risk, banking and finance, and compliance. He currently serves as director at Juno Moneta International Private Limited, where he leads key regulatory and compliance functions. He began his career at ICICI Bank Limited, spending 14 years as state head, credit risk underwriting, contributing to underwriting operations, mortgage digitization, product development, and policy initiatives. He later held leadership roles as CFO and COO in the non-banking financial sector, managing finance, operation, and strategy. Can we welcome Mr. Jignesh Yagnik, please? Our next speaker, Mr. Ronit Kar, is the CEO of View Trade International IFSC Private Limited, where he leads the development of global technology and infrastructure, enabling seamless international investing. He previously spearheaded high-impact product and growth initiatives at Grow, including building their international investing vertical from the ground up. Earlier, as a founding member of the leading fintech, he helped shape one of India's earliest cross-border retail investing platforms. Can we welcome Mr. Ronit Kar, please? And the moderator for the evening, Mr. Sandip Shah. I'm sure he doesn't need a profile, but I'll still read out one. He's the head of IFSC department at at the GIFT City, where he plays a pivotal role in developing and promoting India's first IFSC center. With over 15 years of experience in financial services, regulations, and policy development, he has been actively involved since the inception of IFSC in India. He works closely with regulatory bodies like IFSCA, RBI, SEBI, IRDAI to introduce and expand key business verticals including aircraft leasing, offshore fund management, fintech, and bullion exchange. An author of the book GIFT IFSC, a comprehensive guide, he is a recipient of the 40 Under 40 Investment Professionals Award and has previously held roles at HSBC and NSDL. Let's welcome Mr. Sandeep Shah. I believe Mr. Meet Pandya would join in, but till then we can proceed with the session. Over to you.
Thank you. Probably the benefit and advantage of organizing such session basically is we don't talk much technicalities. I think idea is to simplify more and more so that the message of what is happening at GIFT City, what are the opportunities can be passed on to the right people, right investors. I think it's a series of interactions that we have been doing. Last time we interacted about how the listing of equities will happen at GIFT IFSC exchange, and one of such first listing is in process, where as we all know, IPO we all have been part of, we have been applying in India, but now the dollar denominated equity listings will also start happening. But probably when we discussed about those listing of equities, I think questions came in terms of the exchanges which are part of the GIFT ecosystem, what they do, what kind of products they which are listed on such exchange, how is it different from the mainland India. So I think we will try to decode the kind of the capital market ecosystem of GIFT City in a very simple way, and probably investors like you and me, say, who wants to invest, say, even a $10,000, how the GIFT City ecosystem can help in investing in the dollar denominated products. And I'm sure the audience watching this session online will also get the advantage. And the good part is these sessions are recorded, so it will have a multiplier effect, whenever audience listen to such conversations. And probably we are very fortunate to have a very experienced panel on this subject, because it's sometimes it is not easy to meet these people. They are very busy in terms of trading and making profits and making people earn profits, and the senior leadership from the different firms are here. Special thanks to Mr. Ronit. I think he has traveled from Mumbai, I believe, right, to be a part of this session. I think his perspective is going to be very important for us, because the View Trades presence itself is a big success of what we are doing at GIFT City, and I think we'll hear from him in terms of how the entire ecosystem is shaping up largely from capital market perspective. In our previous discussions, we also mentioned that the other ecosystem players in terms of banking, insurance, asset management, these firms are already operating and doing large number of business. But probably why this session? Because there are certain products, certain regulations where retail participation has also been encouraged and permitted. And probably when we talk of a retail participation, I think in Gujarat, the second business for all of us is the capital market. All of us have a demat account, I believe, and have been actively participating in the trading and investment activities happening in the zone. I don't know if you are aware, Ronit, but there is a saying that if Gujarat doesn't participate in any of the IPO, there is a high chance that IPO may not get fully subscribed. That is the strength of some of the cities in Gujarat in terms of their contribution to the capital market. But probably, let's start with the exchange first, because you have been aware about the Bombay Stock Exchange in India, one of the oldest exchange today, and have been actively participating in the domestic exchange, which is in Mumbai. And that's where idea is to also understand how is it different from the mainland exchange. And we have Mr. Mit Pandya also at right time. We have just started our conversation, Mit Bhai, and Mr. Mit is from National Stock Exchange in GIFT City. So the exchange in GIFT City is not the same which you and me have been experiencing in India, basically through Mumbai, which are more of a domestic exchange. But maybe I'll take this opportunity of a presence of both the exchange here in terms of explaining in a very layman term about the difference between, say, a Bombay Stock Exchange and the India Annex in GIFT City, and also, Mit by your perspective about how NSE IFSC or NSE IX is different from the domestic exchange. So maybe you want to start, and then maybe we'll request Ritesh ji as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Sandip. Meet here. So I had the business development at NSE IX, and thanks for this opportunity. To kind of give you a brief background, so NSE International Exchange is a 100% subsidiary of NSE India. In perspective of how NSE India was set up and how NSE IX at GIFT is, and to kind of to point to Sandip Bhai's differentiation. First things first is NSE India, we've got all the products which are in INR denominated, and it's completely driven more in terms of retail as well as institutional clients as well as foreign portfolio investors. Unlike that, in NSE IX, which is carved out in GIFT IFSC, all the products which are traded are in US dollars. We are 21.5-hour market, unlike India, which starts at 9 to 3:30. We start in the morning at 6:15 until next day morning 2:45 a.m. So largely you are kind of starting from Australia to US, you're covering most of the markets. So it gives you the ability to kind of trade across time zones and across events. Everything is dollarized. So for institutional clients, so this place is mainly for institutional clients. That's how it started out to be. Now with a lot of different initiatives which are happening in GIFT IFSC, I'll come to that point as we'll we progress the evening. But these are the differences and the cost, right? Number one, in India you've got the STT, CTT, which makes, for example, on a Nifty, on a 1 crore valuation, you pay 2,450 rupees, which is about $29. When you trade the same value 1 crore on GIFT IFSC, you pay as a client only $3.75. So there's a 86% lower cost for clients. Also for proprietary trading firms, the cost is only 90 cents. So which is 96% lower cost than trading in India. So that's one of the differentiators. The other differentiator is, like, unlike in India, and this is only for GIFT IFSCs, not only for institutional but also for NRIs, right? Not for Indian residents. But how does that help? If you are mainly an NRI in India, you are not able to repatriate your profits from FNO. Out here, there is no restriction as such. So which is why now we are going to be looking at more participants coming in. So I'd like to pause over here and I'll give that opportunity to the other exchange to also kind of, give their viewpoint.
Very good evening. I'm Ritesh. I'm heading business of India Annex. So India Annex was set up by BSc in 2017, inaugurated by our Honorable PM Modi ji. And most of the point Meet already covered, like GIFT City exchanges are open 22 hours a day. So we open, India Annex open 4:30 a.m. in the morning till 2:30 a.m. in the night. So even after 3:30, investors can trade in index future, that is Sensex future, available on India Annex. So the another point Meet covered ki the trading and settlement take place in dollars. The same is on India Annex ki trading and settlement take place in dollars. Till now on India Annex, we were having derivative contracts. Now Indian companies lined up for an IPO. First IPO is XCD, it's a Indian company based at, I think, Bangalore, and they are coming up with an IPO. So 5-6 more companies are queued up. We are expecting in next few months companies will start coming up with an IPO, and the first equity listing of on any GIFT City exchange will take place, and investors will be able to participate in equity product too. And apart from that, I am expecting asset management companies will come up with ETFs. ETFs of global products, ETFs of Indian products. So Indian residents can trade only in global products. It means any foreign company, if they will come for an IPO, the resident Indian can apply and can trade in that respective company, or they can trade ETF based on foreign stocks. Participation in Indian company and Indian ETF based on Indian product is restricted for resident Indian, because resident Indian can trade these products on NSE BSE itself. So they doesn't need to go to IFSC for trading of these products. But one big things is expected probably in 2026 is that dual listing of Indian companies. Till now, Indian companies can list only on Indian exchanges like NSE, BSE, and we hope ki SEBI may come up with some final guidelines or regulation that can allow Indian companies to raise capital not only from Indian investors but also from global investors. A portion can be subscribed in India and a portion can be subscribed by global investors, and both portions can trade on that respective exchanges or in a respective jurisdiction. So that is something is on about to come. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you. I think two exchanges, international exchanges, you can say, and operating almost more than 21 hours in a day. And probably in case you feel that 9 to 3:30 is not enough, then there is another market parallelly operating within these jurisdictions where the dollar denominated products can be traded. But the question is, how do we participate? Because today in India, I think there are discount brokerage firms, or there are many local domestic brokerage firms where we open demat account, trading account, we through our normal bank account we start trading using that in the domestic exchanges. But now the question is this the same way under which we can also participate in the international exchange ecosystem at GIFT City? And probably I think Ronit is the right person to answer, having set up their broking arm or a capital market intermediary in GIFT City. It would be good to hear from you in terms of how the broking ecosystem operates in GIFT City. And do you think that investors like me and all of us can participate in that ecosystem?
Thank you, Sandip ji. Good evening to all. and it's really a pleasure sharing the stage with my fellow panelists. So, and thank you, Sandip ji, for having me over. So it's a very interesting question. So I'll kind of share the version of a foreign broker dealer, and then kind of give a comparison how the Indian, the Indian infrastructure from a brokerage point of view, works. So when we came to GIFT, there was one vision of making global investments as seamless as possible. It should be part of like regular investors' brokerage journey. Be it you're an Indian resident, be it you're an NRI, be it anywhere, be it anywhere at whatever place you are on earth. If you want to have global access, you got to do it through GIFT. So having said that, India is more of a demat-oriented structure, which is more secured, which is more transparent, which is more controlled in a way. Outside of India, it's more of a, let's say, clearing setup. It's more of a brokerage-driven omnibus clearing setup that it operates. Of course, India has its own regulatory framework, own surveillance framework. We wanted to make the best out of it, and we wanted to kind of, make a structure that is both regulatory blessed and also very user-friendly. So that's how we decided, okay, if we have to cater to making India a mass product, and coming from the B2C market ourselves, we're thinking of millions of customers. We wanted to kind of incubate that in the very deep nerve of GIFT City IFSC. So that's how we kind of, innovated a structure where, a demat kind of structure. We don't call it demat per se, we call it trading account, where you can open a global trading account very seamlessly, completely digital, and then you can start investing. You fund your account, and you start investing, be it in the US market or the global markets, and of course, available on the IFSC parameters, on the IFSC exchanges, and beyond that. So we wanted to make it very seamless. We wanted to make it absolutely digital first. We wanted to make it not for one customer, not for 100 customers, not for 1,000 customers, but for millions of customers at scale, giving a best of both the worlds. So that's how we set up the brokerage infrastructure in GIFT. And we are kind of, let's say, lucky enough or proud to be in partner, in association with some of the leading financial institutions out here. And also we are also trying to build a lot of global footprints, having GIFT as a base center. So yeah, that's how we've kind of cultivated the brokerage ecosystem.
Thank you. And maybe again, Jignesh bhai, I think Juno Moneto, again, a very proud moment for all, Gujarat fellows, that one of the headquarter of a capital market intermediary firm is coming up in GIFT City. I think while Gujarat participation in the capital market is immense, we have seen a couple of firms setting up a large office in Ahmedabad. I think a couple of towers have come up from the broking houses. But Juno Moneto is again one of the leading player, having large presence in GIFT City. And probably it would be good to hear from you about, your presence in GIFT City as leading capital market intermediary, and what are your plans, for GIFT City?
Yeah. So we were good to have early entrants in GIFT City. We entered way back in 2020. Basically, the group is present both on domestic side and the international side. Having a very large and sound team. So that was the basic strength of coming up with a large investment and having faith in the system of what was coming up. So what we have seen over the past years is while we entered, there were around 2 buildings on domestic side, 2 buildings on international side. But what you will see in coming 1 year is more than 1 million square feet of offices getting ready and people pouring in. If I see what has happened over the years, so we were hardly doing any capital market transaction. The quarterly transactions are more than 200 billions across our own IFSC exchanges. The platform let's say it's a global platform with a local flavor. For large firms like us, we are basically a prop trader only, we don't have clients. So and for any trader, let's say how it helps is, and how we look at it is, we have a tax holiday period here. So for any trader or any business house, ROE nikalna ya to having return on your money is the biggest challenge. 1% yield ke liye people take high risk. So 30% tax benefit on your profit is a huge jump which you will have. Otherwise, Meet Bhai told कि CTT, STT नहीं है, even offices लो आप stamp duty नहीं है. Well, it is governed by state government, but then all those factors help you a lot in generating better yields. NRIs, or if you would be, I'm sure you all would be tracking this, Indian emerging markets or Indian strategies में trillions of dollars are being invested by FPIs, FIIs, NRIs. So largely we can, those guys would be coming here. Talent is one thing which we need to work out. It's ऐसा नहीं है कि everything is very smooth, but हाँ, it is ऐसा भी नहीं है कि it cannot be worked out. We are working out, and I think we'll be able to do well. If I see how GIFT City is better off, so one is your yield, which you can pull. Basic तो trade profit होना चाहिए. Otherwise there are other things which help you out. OPEX, if I tell you, so OPEX, considering the IFSC across the globe, Singapore, Dubai, अगर यहाँ का rentals and the rentals over there, it is just half. If you compare, so OPEX that way, even manpower cost is very low in India. So it is good for the Indian trader as well. So there is an arbitrage factor. Obviously, you can hike, people coming there can expect a better hike than a normal trader in domestic market. So these are two main factors. Apart, government also has a incentive policy in name of GCC and ITES. So there are conditions over there, but then they help in incentivizing you in OPEX. If you see, like it was told, the time zone. So when you start your office, so 22 hours is, any trader would be passionate on trading. So 9:30 to 9:15 to 3:30 is सबके लिए कम ही पड़ता है. So in GIFT, you can start as early, work for 22 hours, and even on your lifetime of BSc, NSC, most of the markets are open. So we are in a good time zone. Singapore ले लो, Taiwan ले लो, then you have Turkey, UK, all those markets are open when you are working. So coordination, while what we see is the time zone का जो challenge है, so you need to have a better coordination. So all those things are worked well in GIFT. And going forward, I am sure many products exchange are tying up, they are bringing in, listing has already been started. So I am sure much more things are there in plate to come.
Great. So probably from a capital market opportunities perspective, the one discussion we had basically in terms of how you can have a trading platform where you can enable your clients to trade. It can be retail clients or it can be institutional clients. There is another value proposition where, say, if you want to trade for your own proprietary capital, then still you can set up entity, on the lines of what Moderator Group has done, infuse the capital under the overseas direct investment norms of RBI, and that entity can actually trade the products on the GIFT exchanges. And I think we will also discuss, apart from GIFT exchanges, how the framework is also enabling to trade, US market or a Korea market or any other global markets sitting in GIFT City. And I'm happy to share that these transactions are already happening. There are traders, there are brokers who are already trading US markets or any other global markets today from you know the from GIFT City today. Now coming to the, we understood the exchange ecosystem, we understood the broking ecosystem. Now let's understand how does it work, because you need, as I mentioned, we need, typically in India we call it demat account or a trading account when we trade on the domestic market. Now from international zone perspective, the stock exchange is the one which provides a platform for the products that that you mentioned. But maybe Meet Bhai, I'll come back to you again with couple of more questions. One, if you can share about the trading volume on the current products basically, and do you think that more and more products will be added to the current portfolio? Second, how the demat ecosystem works. So do we have a kind of a depository kind of environment where, say, if I open an account and if I want to hold some securities, how does it work basically from a depository perspective? And the third, basically the investor onboarding as well. Have you seen that FPIs looking at this market and trading, looking at Nifty trading specifically on NSE exchange?
So I'll take each of your questions, interesting question. So in terms of volumes, India Nifty trades about $2.5 billion every day in terms of USD terms, and the open interest is about close to $4 billion. I'm sure that most of you all wouldn't know this number, but Nifty futures at GIFT IFSC on NSE IX, we are 2x the volume of India Nifty. We trade $5 billion average daily turnover. We hit the highest monthly turnover of $106 billion when India last month NSE India did on Nifty about close to 54 billion. So on any given day we are 2x the volume. We are 4x the open interest. We hit the highest open interest that also in the month of October, which was 22 billion. So on an average we kind of hover around 14 to 16 billion dollars of open interest. So you can understand the depth of the market. It's not a static number like that the open interest is just moving, but it's actually volume. So this is our flagship product which is the GIFT Nifty. We have all the products in terms of to answer the product. We have all the products which our parent NSE India has. We kind of bring them, onboard them on NSE IX and dollar format. As soon as they're available in India, we get our regulators approval and it's all launched here. So you've got the Bank Nifty, GIFT Nifty, IT, Fin Nifty, Nifty Mid Cap Select, all the ones. We've got all the single stock futures. We are the only exchange in GIFT to actually have the Bharat bond futures available, which is in India, which is 80% of the concentration is on government-owned entity bonds. So from that perspective, and of course there were new initiatives that we brought in. We are the first exchange in India as well as in GIFT to bring in zero DTEs. So this concept of 0-day options is widely known in the US, but we created this product because India is a market, and again I can only speak on behalf of NSE IX. I just want to put that caveat out here since the recording is also there, that I am representing NSE International Exchange and GIFT IFSC. I will only speak from that perspective and nothing to do with any regulators which are on mainland India. So I just want to have that caveat out here. So from that perspective, the regulator that we have within the GIFT ecosystem, it is called IFSCA. In India, you've got 5 different regulators for different businesses. Banking ke liye RBI, you've got RBI, SEBI for exchanges. We've got only one single regulator, IFSCA, which has actually made a lot of things easier for the whole ecosystem, and they are one of the most progressive regulators that I've seen, right? Especially spending 20 years in the US. I've just been brought on board last year to kind of run this business development for the exchange. So from that perspective, in terms of product, we were the first ones. In fact, this product was discussed at one of the conferences that we were having in GIFT, and we said, why don't we try it out here? The regulator said, go ahead and do it. So new products, like to answer the question that Sandeep mentioned, what is out there? What we have done right now is not even a trailer. The movie is still much pending, the trailer is also pending, because this ecosystem allows you to try different products that the investor needs. India is becoming day by day stricter in terms of your leverage products. Out here, there is a framework which has been created to ensure number one, if a trader is there, they cannot be constrained. If they were trading, they know their P&Ls and they have their risk parameters. You cannot constrain them, because if you're constraining them, what we have seen is flight of capital. In India, they kind of made, I don't want to speak on Jignesh bhai's behalf, but I've seen firms like himself who were one of the topmost options trading volume, even for FPIs that are trading onto NSE into India. They started feeling that now they have made their PNL, but they're not able to deploy it further into any products. Where do they go? Then the flight of capital happens as they look at international markets, because the Indian market is not able to take care of the capacity that they have to put the money in, the capital in, right? And that is a GIFT has become a very great opportunity for firms like them. But coming back to our question is, in terms of product, I mentioned that. Secondly is in terms of FPI, right? It's not necessary that you have to be an FPI to get onboarded into GIFT ecosystem at any of the exchanges. If you're already an FPI, you're grandfathered out here, it becomes easier. But the onboarding norms are much more easier than India. India, you have to go through the whole norm of custody, set up your clearing. Out here, an FPI can be onboarded with a broker in less than a week's time. Also, we have come up with a remote trading participant program where we are allowing foreign trading firms to be set up for trading onto our exchange without having the requirement of having the presence out here. So all these initiatives are actually which are the first ones that are happening out there. And last question was, especially on the depository side. So last year, IFSC came up with a new regulation for listing in GIFT IFSC. And what that has entailed is, Indian listed entities can look to list over here. Of course, there is a notification which is pending between both the regulators, which is IFSC and SEBI. So I don't want to comment on that. But unlisted Indian companies can list on either or both the exchanges. They can list in India as well as on GIFT exchanges, or they can only decide to list on GIFT exchanges. What is the reason that they look to list on GIFT exchanges, right? Indian unlisted entities, when they are raising capital from foreign investors, they just want to kind of have a way where they can exchange hands and also unlocking of value. The Indian unlisted entities are able to get that without going listing onto India. So we'll be seeing our first IPO coming through in the next quarter. And unlisted foreign companies. This is where the crowd out here that we have, the participants might be interesting, is foreign unlisted companies can list onto GIFT exchanges, and you as an Indian resident under the LRS would be permitted to invest in those stocks. In the first two categories, you anyways have an option to invest in India, so you cannot invest in those stocks. But in the last category, which is foreign entities, you are able to. Now, how would the demat structure work, right? So right now, so far, there was only clearing setup. Now, we also have an entity within GIFT, which is called IIDI. When I say we, is in terms of GIFT. We have an international depository, and they can hold demat for clients. So that will eventually, that whole ecosystem will grow when the listing piece starts.
No, this is very useful, I think, Midbhai, because it's international zone, and sometimes people are generally scared or fearful in terms of whether to participate, how to participate. But I think you made it very clear that the entire market infrastructure institution ecosystem is present today in GIFT City, whether we talk of exchange, clearing corporation, or a depository. And opening and maintaining depend account is not difficult, correct?
Absolutely. And in fact, the best part is, if you have your broker in India and they would anyways have their entity in GIFT IFSC. If they are not, you can see, you can go on to the exchange websites. Both the exchanges have their websites. Both the members are listed. So you can actually check your broker member who's in India, if they already have a GIFT IFSC entity. Two things you can do, right? Whenever the new IPOs are going to be listed of foreign entities, you can participate, number one. Number two, you can also participate onto the global access piece, which Sandip bhai will kind of discuss further. But that avenue opens up. So it's not that Indians sitting in India can't do anything in GIFT. That's the perception that people have. Ke mari mata soche. What do I have over there to kind of do? But there is a lot that the Indian investor has an opportunity to participate in.
No, absolutely. And at a time when, we have seen dollars sometimes appreciating, over a period of time. And, that also gives opportunity to retail investors to diversify their assets into the dollar products. And I think there cannot be an easy way than closer to Ahmedabad, 40 kilometers from Ahmedabad, where you can buy such dollar products, right?
Absolutely. I don't know how many of you all would have actually visited GIFT.
Yeah, if you can raise your hand if you have visited GIFT City. Oh, quite a few.
That's right. Good. So in fact, back in the days when I used to visit India, when I was in Chicago, every 1 year I would come and travel here. I had to see new roads happening. In fact, in GIFT, every 6 months, if you actually come with a new, if you show up, you will find 5,000 cars being added and about 7,000 to 8,000 people being added. Because I saw it since last April. So I've seen the inflection point, and this is real, right? And this is happening. There is no question. You just have to be part of it in some form or the other. And as part of this discussion, it's only stockbroking and trading that we're talking about. But, the credit goes to GIFT, to Sandip bhai and his team in terms of what is the other infrastructure. Right, there's a lot of fintech companies which are out there. There is a lot more. I don't want to kind of digress from that conversation, but you as a participant out here, there is a lot more in the ecosystem than just capital markets.
No, absolutely. I think, as I mentioned, the opportunities beyond financial market is also kind of huge in terms of foreign universities also setting up their campus. So I think we can actually have a 12-month series on each topic to kind of discuss on each of those opportunities. But coming to now, Ritesh ji, we have heard of global access, and India Annex has actually set up subsidiary called India Annex Global Access. I think for the first time in the country, it opened door for many Indian institutional investors to look at the global market. Otherwise, there has always been challenge. Many times companies have gone abroad, set up entity and have accessed the global market. And why it is important to have access to some of those markets, because if you look at our commodities are a global products, right? When we import certain commodities, it can be a metals, non-metal commodities. There is always a risk, both in terms of currency as well as commodity risk. And many of our Indian corporates, they actually trade on the international exchange to hedge their commodity or a currency risk. Today till date it was happening through the global platforms, without having Indian interface, but now there is some mechanism under which the global access can happen. Maybe if you can brief the audience about how the global access works, through the platform that you have created.
Right. So, India, we have one more entity in GIFT, India Annex Global Access IFSC Limited. Website is indiaannexga.com. You can visit the website and will get most of the information. Now, India Annex Global Access IFSC is a 100% subsidiary of India International Exchange. And from GIFT, we are providing both inbound as well as outbound access. So basically, the India Annex Global Access is for access of global market from the GIFT City. And for every kind of participant, retail individual, retail Indian investors can open account. and they can invest in global stocks through India NXGA as permitted by RBI under LRS. So investors can invest up to $2.5 lakh per annum, means per financial year. Apart from it, Indian corporates can open account for hedging of their commodity exposure on global exchanges. Apart from it, the gift-based brokers like Juno Monito IFSC and the other 100 brokers are there in GIFT. They can set up their proprietary trading desk for trading on international exchanges with their own money. And we are on India Annex Global Access. We are onboarding non-resident clients also to give access of global market. So India Annex Global Access, as on today, tied up with multiple international brokers and giving access of all major markets, all major products, including equity, bond, derivatives, ETFs, mutual funds, for various kind of participant from GIFT IFSC itself.
No, I think thank you. This is helpful to the corporates who are looking to kind of access global market, but probably in last couple of months, IFSC authority came up with a framework called Global Access Provider. And ViewTrade is amongst the first such entity who has obtained that license. I think congratulations, Ronit, for and taking this first initiative to be a part of that new regime. I think it's going to change how Indians trade global products, right? And ViewTrade has created right kind of infrastructure today in GIFT City where such access can be provided. Now, while you have taken this license, but it would be good to hear from you in terms of what are your plans under GAP, and how corporates in India can access the global markets using the ViewTrade in terms of onboarding them and facilitating the entire trade.
Sure. So the whole, let's say the vision of global access provider is to act as a gateway to the global market. So we typically see ourselves as that. If you are acting as a gateway, just like a payment infrastructure, you have gateways and you have banks at the back end. You connect to them from a customer point of view. So we wanted to be something very similar. We are purely a B2B, 2C company, but largely the end C is managed by the introducing business partner. So that's how we kind of work. So from a GAP point of view, we want to have all the products that is available under the sun and available for all kind of customers. So ViewTrade as a global entity, it's a 25 years old entity, largely operating out of US and 7 other countries, but across 35 exchanges. We wanted to kind of have India's first global booking center out here for direct market access. So that's one of our, that has been one of our push points. So that has been one of our motivation to kind of, encourage more under the global access provider scheme. So from a GAP point of view, we are looking at products that are LRS friendly for Indian residents. I think Meet Bhai and Ritesh has already explained enough on the LRS part and what is available, what is not available. So we wanted to be that gateway. So we partner with financial institutions, be it brokers, fund houses, corporates, AMCs, to have access to the global markets, be it US, be it Europe, be it Asia, anywhere else, across 20 to 25 other exchanges, all from GIFT City, and everything under GAP. So GAP has business guidelines. GAP also has compliance guidelines. So it's a perfect mixture of how you tend to operate in the global markets with the safety and security of the land of the laws. So That's one of our main reason also to become a global access provider. From a corporate point of view, yes, we give access to equity classes. So we are also introducing a lot many other products on the derivative side, on the fixed income side. Then on the individual investment, on the retail customers, be it if it's a resident Indian, they can have access to all the listed products because unlisted and leverage is not allowed. Similarly, like corporates, any funds that is setting up, be it a feeder, be it a direct master fund, or let's say any AMC who is looking to directly access global markets, gets the benefit of having access right from the GIFT City itself. It's like, you can set up an office right across next to our office and say, hey, Ronit, I want access to the global markets. Yeah, more than welcome to kind of drop by. So that was the kind of vision. Of course, I speak out from a way it looks simple, but it's like a tentacles, So we have built the global tentacles in that way, the pipelines, the channels that, that you don't have to do multiple integrations. You don't have to think of, 30 other exchanges regulations across the world. All you have to think of is GIFT regulations, IFSC regulations, how product proposition is a value proposition to customers from GIFT, and that's it. You need to work with, you can come on board through one of our partners. We, of course, since we are a B2B2C entity, so we directly we are not customer facing per se. So we work with any financial service providers who would like to give access to the global market. So depending upon from whichever part of the world you are, whichever product you qualify from under the GAP regime, you get access to it. So it's very much automated. It's kind of a switch. We call it a switch control tower, or it's more of like a module, depending upon where you are coming from and what all product that you qualify, be it derivatives, be it equities, be it fixed income, etc. You get access to it, and in the best possible way, and under a very strong regulatory scheme, and of course to the world markets.
No, it's a very unique model. I think it's not largely known, and probably providing access to the market that we can think of. And I think it's any financial institutions can actually connect to your platform to kind of give access to that market. I think it's a very unique value proposition. And I understand ViewTrade, it's a US based entity which has directly set up in GIFT City and not in mainland India, right? Again, it's from a GIFT City perspective, very proud moment that an institution is directly setting up in GIFT City with this kind of opportunity. And I think the way you have created that Amazon basically for the Indian markets, I think it's going to play very important role. Jignesh bhai, I think while he was very humble while explaining about the group, but more than 3 lakh square feet, close to 20 floors, 18 floors of a building coming up in GIFT City of a Juno Monitor group, and more than, I think, at least 500 people are already part of the ecosystem in GIFT City with the Juno Monitor, in the trading side or the operation side or a compliance side. And I believe over a period of time you will be hiring, double the number that you have. I think the question is more on the talent and employment side, because we are also sitting right now in academic institute, and many a times the interest of candidates from Gujarat is towards the capital market. ટ્રેડિંગ ઓલરેડી કરતાં આવડતું જ હોય છે ગુજરાતમાં, એને જનરલી શીખડાવવું નથી પડતું. તો તમારા ઇકોસિસ્ટમનો પાર્ટ બનવું હોય, then how, and because it's a dollar product, so how they can be a part of it, and because it's a 21 hours of trading, basically they can actually do sit and trade overtime to get the access of the multiple markets. So maybe more from a talent perspective, how do you see Juno Monitor Group growing in GIFT City, and what kind of skill sets that generally you look for so that the young talent crowd sitting here can look forward to it?
So I'll answer in a bit generic way rather than going into specifics. Trading in Indian market and overseas is a bit different. So I would just like to add two points which all these gentlemen had. Under LRS, there are two ways you can invest. Domestic में से भी आप करते ही हैं आजकल. It is under LRS. Let's say through a larger platform which large banks have their broking arms. उसके through आप करते हैं. But then whenever you do investment through those entities, the regulation in India only is concerned with your money where it is going. While you do it from GIFT, any broker through GIFT. So what difference does it make? There is an IFSC which is monitoring all these things. And these guys are supposed to report to them on a regular frequency, set frequency defined by the regulator. So while some may feel we are more conservative, but to start off, conservativeness is much better to safeguard your money. आज ही एक article आया है, some gentleman of 72 years old has lost hell lot of money in Bombay based थे. He thought he was trading, वो platform था ही नहीं. Means I am yet to get into detail. So all those things are there in market, so better to get regulated. Now for talent, basically you need to understand the market to get into, right? So whenever you get out of India, means while we have grown up looking at BSc, NSC, and day in day out we hear news कि इसको ये हुआ ऐसे regulation में these guys were penalized. अभी latest में ही एक stock broker का maybe some news are going on. So all those things you are aware के what to do, what not to do. So before entering a market, you need to study this. And primarily regulation is one thing which, let's say CME. CME में जितना liquidity है is the largest exchange in the world. The amount of liquidity there, you won't find anything. You cannot see any institution who can dump in money and manipulate the index, right? You cannot do in CME. But then उतनी liquidity के साथ they put in such regulation as well. The penalties are so hefty. The $20,000 आराम से कर देते हैं. So that is 16-17 lakh rupees, which is a lot of money. So you need to be very sure. So while you are entering, you need to know the market, go into basics, and the trading system itself are different. India is keyboard, वहाँ touch and click है. So a bit different. So basically, if you are eyeing international market, you should definitely eye, because somewhere you will agree India follows the West, right, in all terms. So it is, you want to arbitrage between the market, between the global market, it is good to know the Western trends and then apply some over here. You can have a good arbitrage between the markets also. But then it is very relevant and very important to understand the systems, how it works, and what are the regulations in those markets where you are working. Turkey has different norms than what is there in CME. UK would have different, US would have, Europe would have different. Hong Kong is a completely different thing. So according to me, know the market, know the products, and to start off, I think Indian market is better off for freshers at least, to start off the experience. And for experience, you can, I think through LRS or these mediums are very apt, wherein you can learn the technology and how the trends are going on. So all these platform has those analytics. Obviously, there is a price to everything. Like CME also charges for data which is displayed. NSE में ऐसे ही free में दिख जाता है ऊपर. So all those things are there. Means basic. It is better to get the basics clear and then enter. GIFT has also institutes which are coming up. So I think put together everything would help.
How many people do you plan to hire in next 3 years?
We have a capacity of 3,000 plus desks, but depends on the how the ecosystem works out. So, but we are very optimistic. Our domestic arm has more than 900 people. So all under all segments. So we are quite confident and clear on what to do.
So I think the capacity which is being created is more than for 3,000 people, right? So, and I think that itself shows the future plans for such institutions where they will be expanding their businesses, and for the young talent sitting here, if you think that you want to be in the capital market ecosystem, you want to make a career in the capital market ecosystem, or even for the experienced people, you think that you have got enough experience in the domestic side, but you would like to now explore international market. I think some of these things are very important, and I would also request exchanges to kind of come up with a training modules, or maybe a simulator kind of a thing where the traders can kind of train themselves into the international markets, because they are used to the domestic products, but it is important to get access to the international market, how pricing works, because sometimes 1 rupee difference in India is 1 rupee, but $1 difference in India is 88 rupees difference, right? So that is something which is very important, and I am sure the exchanges will have such initiatives where we can train more and more people to be a part of the ecosystem.
So here I would like to add कि India NX Global Access already have the function of dummy account or a demo account or a paper account, in which you can practice or invest with some paper money in global markets, and or you can trade with paper money in various products across the globe. So that is that function is already available. You just need to drop an email and you will get a link of those logins.
Okay, and if either Meet Bhai or Ritesh ji, if you can answer, because it is also for retail customers to have a direct access. I think you have already onboarded some of the discount brokerage firms or a retail capital market intermediaries as a member to your exchange. If you can share some names, or who are providing access to the retail investors in India to be part of the ecosystem. And second, how do you see the attraction for the retail investors? Because I think we have seen the mutual funds and AIFs are also coming up in the GIFT City, and eventually they will also start using some of these platforms for the diversification. So any thoughts around it? Yeah.
Sure. So one of the things while the panelists were discussing about global access, so in terms of the brokers, we already have a product which is called unsponsored depository receipts. So even before the global access came into play, we have a product where we have 50 global US stocks which are already listed on our platform, and you can buy and sell through domestic brokers who are in India, but they are members of us and NSEIX. For example, Ind Money, and this is a public list, so whatever names I'm giving, they are one of our members. So Ind Money is there, LKP is there, there are different set of brokers who already had these clients, and they wanted to trade Tesla. Now Tesla, if you have to buy for $1,000, that's straight away a 90,000 tick size for you. How do you buy in fractional, right? So that is where we came up with unsponsored deposit receipts, where we knew that clients' pockets from India would be like $10 or $20 a unit. So where we created these receipts, and these are fractional ownership, and these actually gets transferred into your account. Of course, there are two parts to this, right? One is that it's not a direct liquidity, but it is a mirror market, because we've, I don't want to get too much into the details, but we've got the same market maker that markets for these stocks globally. While you go through the global access platform, they are the same market makers, these are the same market makers. And we move, what is the differential, right? We actually move the asset onshore into GIFT IFSC. So through our global custodian and our domestic custodian in GIFT, whenever I say domestic, that means GIFT domestic, we are moving assets of clients. So how is it different, right? So say if a client over here had bought $10,000 worth of Tesla, one option is you go directly to the foreign broker, like, one of them is already here, and those stocks are actually stored with the depository in that country, correct? What happens if there is a Lehman kind of event? That's always the question. There are certain guardrails, but how does one go and claim? Someone sitting in Ahmedabad having $10,000, there is a 500,000 FDIC coverage, but do you know anything about how to go ahead and claim it, correct? Both the markets have their pros and cons, right? Whereas the UDR, you get that asset into your demat account in GIFT IFSC. Of course, the costing is a little expensive because you're moving that asset from the US onshore onto GIFT IFSC. There is a cost to it. So while the safety angle is there, the cost gets attached to that. Now with the whole global access which has opened up, what does that entail? You're still your assets are with a foreign custodian. Of course, we being in GIFT, NSE IX has also formed a GA entity, which will be up and running in the first quarter of next year. But it's up to we are going to let the customer decide. Do they want to go through the model which is direct to market access? It has its own pros and cons. Or do you want a UDR? We let the market decide. So from that perspective, in terms of the brokers who are already there, they're already on our website, right? So I just thought, give the retail client, the good part is, I'll tell you, what GIFT has opened up is, it's opened up the way you have got 2,000 brokers in India. The same way for you to trade overseas, this is just the beginning. You've got like 5 or 6 different avenues in terms of global access providers. We are one of them. There are the other exchange who's also got global access. Ronit who's there, they are going to have. Now someone like a Juno Monoto, for example, they'll have their own global access for trading for themselves. They're not going to open it for clients, right? So now more and more such brokers will end up, if the Zerodhas of the world are there, they may want to open up their own global access for their own clients because they want to make sure that all their KYC of clients are just with them, right? Again, I'm just giving an example, so don't quote me anywhere. But this kind of opens up for a retail investor who's sitting out here. It opens up 5 different avenues for where you want to invest, how you want to invest, how do you control your destiny in terms of all the controls and guardrails that are there. Thanks.
Any thoughts? Okay. So I think it's a clear direction and a message that having access to the global market is very much possible while both the exchanges themselves are present with the right kind of products. But GIFT is a platform where connecting to the global market is also easy, and with the right kind of players in the ecosystem, I think more and more easy is going to come in. It's not only from a retail Indian investors perspective, but I think there are right kind of efforts going on to have onboarding of NRI customers. And I think the regulator has recently come up with a framework where through a video KYC, even NRI customers will be allowed to be onboarded. So if your family friends are abroad looking to trade GIFT market, there is a right kind of mechanism available under which they can be onboarded and they can trade to the markets in GIFT City. Maybe I think it's right time to open up for the questions as well. While there are still pending questions, many of them also came with a assumption that you will also give some tips on the stock markets. I'm not sure. You are the right people here to mention on this, but maybe you have understood how GIFT City ecosystem operates from a participation perspective. Before I ask them a last question on one advice or guidance that you would like to give it to the audience here, you may think through before I till the time I get some questions from the audience. But maybe one question that I would like to ask each one of you about one message that you would like to give it to the audience for their participation in the GIFT ecosystem. But maybe I'll open up for the questions, if any, from the audience. Yes, please.
Hello. I would like to know from you people as a retail investor. What I understand is there is no tax as an individual to India perspective. But suppose I invest in some US or Europe or Turkey, what will be the tax?
Okay. So if you are a resident Indian investors trading on the US markets, the profit generated back to the resident investors, it will be treated as capital gain. So if it is a short term, it will be treated as a short term capital gain, and the tax will apply, and the long term capital gain tax will apply. At least for resident Indian investors, from a tax perspective, it remains the same. But idea is to give access to the larger products in market, which typically is not available on a simplistic way from India.
And suppose I want to participate in any ETF or any mutual fund. I think 2 mutual funds have already launched. So where to approach and how can I proceed?
So there are 2-3 options. One, if you know the specific mutual fund company that you want to invest through, I think you can go to their website. They have a mechanism under which they will allow you to open account and get access to it. Second, in case you want to connect with multiple of them, you can connect with any one of us. We also have a website where there is an email ID called query@giftgujarat.in. So if you go to the Gift Gujarat website, there is an email ID given. If you write to them, they will also connect you with the right people in the ecosystem. The exchanges and market participants are here. Their website also is very informative, nscix.com for the NSC. So nscix.com is for the NSC website, and indiaannex.com is for the BSC subsidiary, where it is again very informative advice. But happy to help in terms of connecting with the right people. Thank you.
Sir, will you mail ID repeat kariye, sir? Mail ID query.
So what I'll do is we'll connect off the line. We'll share my visiting card where we'll be able to share details about the email ID. Yeah.
So a lot of my friends are CFA level 3 graduates. They used to work for me. We used to trade crypto markets on Hyperliquid, all decentralized exchanges. So they did CFAs, but when they ask me what to do with CFA level 3 degrees, it's mostly recognized in US. Do you see any opportunity like Singapore, the index fund which is listed in GIFT, one of the first one which was listed like years back? So what do you see opportunities for CFA graduates with level 3 cleared in this market?
I'll take this one. So if you go on to our exchange websites and also IFSCA website, and in fact GIFT City's website, there are about close to 300 FMEs. Make sure that you note this down very clearly. Those are called fund management entities. These fund management entities are actually making the decisions to buy or sell underlying assets in India. And the talent by IFSCA as a regulator is required to have your principal officers and your compliance officer as well as your research folks on ground in GIFT IFSC. That's where this talent is required, right? So if you just go through these names, there are tons of US companies, Middle East, Southeast Asia. All these are pension funds as well as hedge funds who are looking for such talent. So, I'll give you my email and my business card after this. You send me, I'm happy to connect this talent because there is definitely a talent crunch in GIFT IFSC. So I'm happy to kind of, help these folks out there.
That's the last question. I don't know a lot, but I have visited once. for GIFT City. But when I was researching, a lot of people are telling it's just a, like companies are not officially coming there. Like it's like a ghost town where I read on Reddit and somewhere. But like they have companies, but not they don't work. It's just a sort of infra.
I'll take that one again, because I love this since I've moved to GIFT. So when did you last visit GIFT?
Like 2 months back in Navratri.
Okay, so tomorrow I'll host you at Exchange. Come for a coffee. I'll have someone from my team take you around to these offices. So it's no longer the ghost town, because the Exchange as well as the regulators have started making surprise visits, and these are serious offenses now, that you cannot keep your offices just the way it is, right? So I think last time, if you would have come 2 months back, the ghost town, I don't know if it was a Saturday that you came, but come during a weekday. I'll make sure someone from my team will take you around. Make sure you make a note of this and post it, that it's no longer a ghost town.
He may not get a parking, right, during the... Okay.
Absolutely. So I've taken care of both your things, right? It's no longer a ghost town, and then there is a talent part both.
Yes.
So my question is more of a retail part. I have 3-4 questions, so I need permission. Can I ask?
Please go ahead.
Okay. So one is the trading platform to trade in India INX. I think one is Juno Moneto. It's now, I'm not a finance guy, so pardon my some terms. So how can I know what are the other platforms? Because I asked Kotak, ICICI, Zerodha, Go to the customer care, and they said that they don't have anything for the IFSC. Maybe they don't know, or I am not aware of whom to contact. So as an individual, if I want to compare the charges, how can I do that? That's the first thing. I do invest through India INX GA through Interactive Broker, and I have some fund and stocks there. But now I see that it is moving to View Trade, I think, and so I'm just worried about my fund and my stocks. What is the collaboration with Interactive? Because I heard that Interactive doesn't have the office in IFSC, and sometimes they have, and India INX have both the options. So I'm just worried about my stock, my fund. The deposit discount is not there. Like earlier, I transfer the fund through ICICI. I was getting some in the remittance, the spread and the charges, which is difficult for me right now. So how and when it is going to enable? Then India INX GA says, and it's a great opportunity for retail investor like me, that I can invest in any market. There is a currency conversion charge. So is there anything that $2 is, I think if I convert from USD to Australian dollar, I need to pay that. So is there any mechanism, or can I just, is there something we can have? I cannot invest in crypto mutual fund. I don't know, it's a regulation of Indian law, or do you have that? Like if I want to invest, because again for the Bitcoin and all this, there are platforms, but I don't trust. So if BlackRock has a fund and I want to invest in BlackRock Pure Bitcoin Fund, it's safe for me. So can I get that avenue somewhere, somehow? I'm not aware about it. I see Interactive Broker doesn't have Korea market. So what's about it if I want to invest in Samsung and SK Hynix? And last question, sorry. I don't understand the stocks stored. Like in India, I understand that there is a SEBI, CDSL, NSDL. Meetbai just said that there is some different avenues. Again, I'm a retail investor. I have my own earned money. Okay, I'm investing in some stocks. What about the risk involved if I'm going through India INX GA through Interactive or maybe View Trade, whatever? What is the risk if it's stored, offshore? That's it.
I think you got the right person to answer your questions. But then we'll
First
take up.
First of all, good to know, you have an account with India INX Global Access, and you are already accessing global market through INX GA. And again, you know a lot of about INX GA product offering. So yes, India INX GA tied up with more than 10 brokers initially. So we started in 2018. From 2018 to 2023, we were onboarding only BSE brokers as a client who were trading in international markets with their own money. So we were hardly having few numbers of client you can count on your hands. 22-23 onwards, we started onboarding retail Indian clients, and we tied up with Interactive Brokers, who was the first broker to offer US market access to retail Indian clients. But the objective was to increase the offerings, the options for investors. So we tied up with ViewTrade also, and you can continue both accounts. So you can continue trading with Interactive, you can continue trading with ViewTrade. In case of Korea, I hope ViewTrade will go live by 15th of December. That what Ronit assured me, but but if he assured me by 15th of December, then I think in the next quarter, probably after doing all internal testing and all, the Korean market will be enabled, and you will be able to buy sell Korean securities also through INXGA. About remittance fee through bank, basically India INXGA tied up with banks to bring down the cost of remittance. So as of now, when we started this business in 2022, we found that when investors send money to US, banks are charging two type of fees. So one is fixed fee, that usually because you remitted money through ICICI Bank. So when you will remit money, say directly to any international broker, even to Interactive, not through INXGA, when you will remit money directly to Interactive, the ICICI Bank must have charged you some 900 rupee fix and a spread. So usually bank charge some first fixed fee per transaction and a spread. So the fixed fee range somewhere between 500 to 1000 rupee per transaction, and spread range between 1 rupee to 2 rupee. So if interbank rate of USD INR is 85, bank offer usually 87, 86.50. So they make around 2% on spread and 1% on fixed fee. So 1% is feasible. But if you are remitting 1 lakh rupee, 1% in the sense that if you are remitting 1 lakh rupee and bank is charging 1000 rupee fixed, it comes out to be 1% and a spread of 2%. So 1% is visible that you can see while remitting money because you are paying upfront. The spread is not visible to you because you don't know the interbank currency rates. Yes, you are informed with the investor. Like in many cases, investor does not check the interbank rate and how much more the banks are charging from them for sending money out of India. So to address this problem and to bring down the cost of remittance to Indian clients, we tied up with Indian banks. So we tied up with, as on today, we have an agreement with, we have an arrangement with Kotak Bank, ICICI Bank and HDFC Bank, who cover around 70-80% of the clients who invest in global markets. And the fixed charges, HDFC is 0, ICICI is 0, and Kotak is somewhere 200 rupees. Spread is ICICI 60 paisa, HDFC 55 paisa, and Kotak is 50 paisa. Now these rates are earlier till 31st of October. These benefits were available for our client, but a recent new GAP circular came applicable from 1st of November. So earlier investors were allowed to send money directly to US brokers. Now it's compulsory to first get money in GIFT City bank account and then remit money to US brokers. So money must be routed through INXGA. Now money can't go directly to US broker, so that the proper trail can be established, how money is moving from where to where. And I think that might be the objective of regulator, but regulation came. So ICICI Bank does not have basically they are working to remit money from ICICI Bank account or investors bank account in India to ICICI Bank, INXGA bank account in GIFT. That is why as of now our benefits, means our tie-ups or our preferential rate with banks are not applicable for the time being until we settle those things. So probably in a month or in a 2-month time, these problems, these are the temporary problems, came because of the change in system, a 360-degree change in system. Earlier money was going directly, now going through GIFT. I need to deploy system from where coming, how to send, give credit to the client account. So these are the temporary thing, and again probably by next quarter you will start getting my clients or INXJ client will start getting preferential rate on GA platform. You talked about crypto. So we blocked crypto because GAP circular, if you will go to IFSC website, ifsc.gov.in, so the IFSC is a regulator, they decide the rule of the game. And when you will check the circular issued by IFSCA, the GAP circular says that we cannot provide access of a crypto product to retail Indian clients. Means to anyone, not even to the gift-based entity, even though he has 20-floor building in GIFT, giving employment of 3,000 people, can't trade crypto from GIFT. So global access provider neither can trade by their own the crypto product, or nor they can give access of crypto or a crypto-based product. So that restrictions came from regulators. That's why we restricted product, and you will not be able to even place orders in these crypto or a crypto-based products. I missed any question to answer?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So one thing is you said that the mechanism is changing from transferring money. So right now it's complicated. I need to transfer to India and then send some mail and then it goes to.
So we are working to make things automated, but it will take.
Automatically go to interactive or again like
It will always route. When you will deposit money, first it will come to an India INXJ account, then it will go to interactive. When you will make a withdrawal, first it will come to INXJ, then it will come to your account. So that is because of the compulsion from the regulators. Earlier that was not compulsion, there was no such compulsion, so we allowed to remit money or flow money directly to global brokers. Now the restrictions is there. So even from corporates, like even if the Juno Monitor have account with INXJ, if they will remit money to US market, first they will send money to INXJ bank account, then I will send money to the broker, international broker account. So this is a compulsion of the GAP circular.
process will be longer, right, going forward as well. So it will take some time for me to deposit or withdraw the money because I need to mail again you to talk to interactive.
No. So, no. Here is one change. So your assumption is like
Just,
you will.
just in the interest of time, can I ask you to take this offline after the session? To just keep the.
Yes.
Sure. go
Last
ahead.
answer to you, like I already have deposited money with Interactive in US. As I will receive money in my bank account, I will not wait to transfer to Interactive. I already have, say, some fixed money with them, and I will give credit from my money with Interactive to your account.
Yeah, I think we can take offline, but those are very valid questions and very happy to see that, real transactions are happening.
I'll just add to you. You once also mentioned that you are worried about your investments. So how does it work is, let's say in Indian scenario also, let's say the bank which has a broking arm, you have a direct debit facility there, but let's say Zerodha doesn't have a bank, but then there are APIs. It doesn't work like that in foreign markets. So your money anyway would go to a broker. These guys would have a clearing and custody agreement. Generally in foreign markets, those large brokers would have a clearing and custody facilities. These guys again would have those arrangements with them, written arrangements which would be duly signed. They are also regulated. These guys are also regulated. So any problem, they will be a hefty issue, which they are answerable to everyone. So I don't think to a large extent you should worry about that. And again, on the platforms which the IFSC has brought in, these GAP, global access providers, would be able to pull in large amount of investors and large amount of transactions. So hence they will be able to have a better negotiating power with, let's say, banks or even foreign exchanges, like maybe in Europe or in Africa or in Hong Kong. So the brokerage charges would be minuscule. Now you can also go to a normal Indian broker who are providing under foreign investor through LRS and compare the charges. Then I think you will be more happy.
Any last question, or otherwise we'll come back to the panel again? Yes, please.
GIFT Nifty, right? And with the GAP license, I will be able to trade in the foreign securities. So what is the difference between these two? I'm not able to clarify that.
GAP is just a license wherein the license holder provides an access to foreign market. A broker can anyway take an NOC from exchanges and IFSC and trade in global markets.
So after taking broker dealer license, you cannot set up an entity in GIFT just for GAP license. It's a complementary thing. So you can set up or anyone can set up an entity in GIFT for a broker dealer license. Once you have taken a broker dealer license, you can onboard client and give access of GIFT City exchanges to your client. One. Second, you can trade with your own money. So you can trade with your own money on GIFT City exchanges, or you can trade with your own money with through the global access provider registered with IFSC. So global access provider have certain obligations, certain reporting obligations to IFSC. So two options IFSC has given if you want to trade in international market. So either you registered as a GAP by your own, do the all compliance mentioned in the GAP circular, or open an account with the existing GAP like India NXGA. So you doesn't, if you and trade as a client in global market, then it's a INXGA responsibility to ensure the GAP compliance mentioned in the IFSC circular.
Perfect. And broker dealer can also take GAP license.
Yes,
right?
both choices are there. Like if you want to trade, means if you want to access global market directly, not through existing GAP, then you can take your GAP license from IFSCA and can do all the compliance by your own.
So broker dealer can do GAP as well, and without GAP also broker dealer can operate.
So there's a classic example, Jignesh Bhai is from Juno Monoto, right? So they are a broker dealer member with NSE-IX, and now they have applied for a GAP of their own to clear their own trades onto global markets, because they did not want to disclose what their strategies are on proprietary trading clients to anyone else, because the gap requirements by the regulator, which says that whoever the gap maybe has to disclose to IFSC, our regulator, what those trades are, right? So some firms like them who are very want to make sure that, you know, why should their trading strategies, that's their secret sauce, why should that go out? They decided to kind of, you know, go in for that. I'm just speaking on your behalf, but just to make things easier for them.
It's not about secrecy, it's more about the flexibility. See, if I am going through a GAP, I'll go to only those brokers who are empaneled with GAP. If I want to have an empanelment, I need to convince these guys first to go and इसको पहले तुम लो फिर मैं तुम्हारे साथ trade करूँ, ऐसा है.
So the choice of international broker is the cause of concern.
Yeah. No, great. I think very good discussion, and maybe I throw one last question about maybe a suggestion, guidance, or advice that you may like to give to this audience. So maybe quickly one answer from each one of you, and then maybe he will hand it over back to Adabhai. And I think you may also have any tax advice. He's a tax guy, right?
I'm a fraud examiner.
Oh, correct. So maybe
what comes to my mind is diversify, because, you know, you're investing in domestic market, perfect. It's global investments is no more a vanity product. It is now part of very much a risk hedging product, because the way India is becoming more global in nature. So diversify your assets. Might not has to be in stocks, wherever possible in India, wherever you can do it offshores, and have a proper hedge portfolio so that you're diversifying your risk as well. So diversify further.
So my advice to all investors is to deal with only with regulated entities. So even if you are dealing with a US broker or a Dubai or Singapore broker or a Korea broker or any broker, you must check the broker name is available on the regulator's website. So you cross check that with whom you are dealing is regulated by one regulator. And why this is important, because if you are dealing with a regulated entity, then there is one regulator who is having close watch on the what that entity is doing inspections, and how they are dealing with your money and securities. That is why my advice to every client, whether they are dealing in Indian market or global market, if you are opening account in India also with any broker, you must ensure that broker is regulated or registered with SEBI. If you are dealing in global market, that respective broker must be registered with the regulator of that respective country.
So largely Ronit has covered what I wanted to say is, what he said was diversify. So if you see the movement of funds of large investors, it goes market to market. So if you want to increase your yield, markets go into stagnation for a certain period of time. So if you have such kind of access and you are able to predict where the money is going, and you put in money in right stocks, so I think you will be able to generate more returns. Apart from that, apart from capital market, what I can really advise is, we have been fortunate to see GIFT right from 2020, and apart from capital market, there are a lot more things that are there in GIFT. So just explore what suits you, but what I will generally say is, know what you are doing. So be it investing or whatever steps you are taking, GIFT is one place I don't think anybody should miss.
I think they've made my life much easier. They've covered all the things. The only thing that I can say is soch kar, samajh kar, invest kar. Thank you, guys.
Totally. I believe that is exactly what I was also going to say. That, like, you all would have probably heard that if something is too good to be true, it is probably not true, right? But here there is a probably not true. So there are also certain things which are too good to be true but are actually true. So like everyone said, that diversify, that is one way of reducing risk. Second is check if it is a regulated entity or not, and certain opportunities are literally extremely good, and if they are properly security verified, regulated and things, then I think it is the right time to invest in such things to actually grow as a broker, investor, as a retailer, or or in any other field as well. But that opportunities, identifying those opportunities is the most critical aspect that I would say. Thank you so much. Sorry for the delay in the session, but I believe the audience and the speakers both have played a great part in today's session, and considering everyone is still present, I am happy to call it a huge success. Thanks a lot.